Then I took a smidge and applied it down there.
This one's wife. Look at how pathetic she is. Video analysis. Hello, I'm HG Tudor. One of the significant advantages that is conveyed on us is the fact that this one's wife's desire to be seen and watched so regularly means that there is a plethora of material that exists showing her behaviour. Whilst there are rumours about her, tidbits of information, blind items that eddy around in the blogosphere, on social media, there are many instances where we have witnessed her behaviour as a consequence of filmed footage or photographs. We saw, for instance, the way that she waltzed in as overripe burst tomato lady with the ill-fitting red dress, and kept holding on to Harry, pulling him in a particular direction. The turning to the press pack and going, "I'm always proud of him." We saw the USO debacle where nobody wanted to interact with her on the stage. We saw the way, at the service of booing, she sashayed her way down the aisle, drinking in the attention, fuel of those around her. We've seen many instances, and that provides the opportunity for your glorious narrator to analyse and dissect them to explain what you see vis-à-vis her narcissism. It is also extremely useful because it counters the narrative that is advanced by her supporters, who suggest that she isn't those things. Well, if you look at the footage, it shows that she is. You cannot mistake the death stare that she gave her mother that time. You can't help but notice the dropping of the facade, even if it's fractional, as a consequence of a threat to her control. For instance, when she was talking to the lady in relation to the Guinness Challenge. You see repeatedly instances of her behaviour, and you see the way that she pokes and drags and pushes and utilises the grip of doom on Harry. That is inescapable evidence. You aren't making it up. It's not being generated by a rumour machine. It's there. And it isn't just one instance. There are examples again and again which shows her behaviour. It also shows, for instance, the way that she's inappropriately dressed, the way that she repeatedly touches her hair, the way that she elbows people out of the way, positions herself in the centre of things, prevents Harry from joining in a photograph. All of that cannot be denied. It is plain as day. And therefore, this is particularly why her supporters are deluded that they fail to appreciate and understand the evidence as it is presented to them. If such behaviour was only to happen once, well, what is there to make of it? But when there are repeated instances of her turning around on a balcony and being told by Harry to face the other way, where she is seen to manoeuvre somebody out of the way so that she can be central, where she is seen to interrupt Harry and step in front of him to address a group, leaving him on the periphery, looking like a child who's just had his candy snatched from him, where you see the sudden death stare given to her mother at the Grenfell Cookery exhibition. Again and again, those examples can't be denied. They're plain as day. And, when seen in aggregate, it demonstrates her narcissism in action. This is why those supporters of hers in the Sussex squad demonstrate themselves to be such a joke. They simply deny the existence of the evidence which demonstrates her behaviour. We have another instance which demonstrates just how pathetic she is. And I'm now going to play you that piece of short footage so you can see it. Here it comes. Now, I hadn't seen this particular piece of footage previously. I understand it originates from the occasion that this one's wife attended the public launch of Together, our community cookbook, which was, of course, a collection of recipes gathered by women whose families lived in Grenfell Tower, the West London high-rise, where in the summer of 2017, 72 residents died because of a disastrous fire. The cookbook came together and there was a launch, and this one's wife attended with Harry and also with her mother. Now, this is actually the occasion where the infamous death stare occurred, where she glared at her mother for interrupting her. I've analysed that in a separate episode. But here, you can see from the footage that the Prince of Pink Pancakes, Doria, and this one's wife are greeting people. What do we see? Well, Harry is greeting a woman. He's doing so courteously, and he embraces her, although he isn't actually making any physical contact with her. Thus, it's a pleasant and courteous greeting that he is engaging in. Whilst Harry is doing this one's wife places her hands towards him. At first it's slightly tentative, and then she grips his arm, looking to pull him away from the woman that he's kissing. It really is pathetic behaviour. It's akin to a toddler saying, "What about me? What about me? Recognise me, talk to me." What's going on? This one's wife's narcissism requires her to have control in each moment over all the appliances that are on her radar. Accordingly, in this short piece of footage, the appliances that are on her radar are Harry, the intimate partner primary source, Doria, her mother, non-intimate secondary source, and the woman, non-intimate tertiary source, assuming that this one's wife has only just met her. Accordingly, this one's wife's narcissism requires that she has control over all three of these appliances, but there is a problem. The non-intimate tertiary source is directed towards Harry, and, importantly, Harry, as the intimate partner primary source, is not focused on this one's wife. He's focused on the lady that he is greeting. This, in that particular instance, generates wounding for this one's wife. It is pathetic that she cannot stand, even for a second, for her husband's attention to be elsewhere. This is the reason why, when they're in public together, she grips his hand. It's part of controlling him, but it's also ensuring that in effect her narcissism knows that he's under control because he's holding on to her hand. It is also part of the facade management to demonstrate to the outside world, look, we're so in love we still hold hands. Here, the fact that Harry is focused on somebody else wounds this one's wife. And because it's proximate, i.e. Harry stood next to her, the wounding is substantial. This one's wife's narcissism needs to do something. One option would be to headbutt the female guest and round on Harry, but of course her facade management, it's taking place in public, has to ensure that doesn't happen, because that would result in catastrophic threats to control. Accordingly, the option of headbutting the lady and perhaps kneeing Harry in the knackers to get his attention is held in check by the facade management. Instead, she can't help herself but reach out towards him, the facade management straining to cope with the fact that her oversized hands are reaching out to him, grip him by the arm, and she starts to try and pull him back. This is because she's needing to assert control over him and direct his attention back to her. Even though the kiss, or the air kiss, takes a matter of 2 or 3 seconds, that's still sufficient to destabilise the need for control that this one's wife has, resulting in this wholly pathetic response on her part. This is demonstrative of the way that her narcissism isn't up to the job. A more accomplished narcissist, even though they would be wounded by the fact that their intimate partner primary source's attention would be elsewhere, would be able to cope with it. They'd essentially suck it up. Their facade management would be much more better, would be much more effective, rather, with regard to causing them to make a witty remark, perhaps, about the exchange, or simply to wait, and then regain control shortly thereafter. They wouldn't start pawing and gripping at their partner in front of everybody. But this one's wife's narcissism isn't evolved enough, and therefore this is why we see on so many occasions her reaching out towards Harry, pushing him in the back, taking his hand, manoeuvring him, elbowing out of the way, and here, looking like an attention-seeking toddler, clawing at a parent to say, me, look at me. She truly is pathetic, and, as always, this behaviour where she's interacting with other people is naturally driven by her narcissism, by knowing that that is what is at the root of all her behaviours when it comes to involvement or prospective involvement with other human beings. That enables you to realise it's her narcissism that is driving that behaviour. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for watching.